Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Crafty Saturday. My name's Michelle Zanovich, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. On Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock and weekday mornings at 8, I get together with you to craft and get our day started with a little fun and creativity. Happy Independence Day. It is going to be broiling hot here in the South, and I am hurrying to get through this so I can go make a blueberry pie, because to me nothing says the holidays like food. So we have a feast planned. If we can't go to the beach or go to the lake, or in my case be in Maui, we're gonna eat, and we're going to eat well today. So I've got a new grill. My parents are going to come over for some safe social distancing much later. Hopefully it has cooled off on my screen porch to have this 4th of July cookout. Today, have you seen this new Dandelions 3D embossing folder? As soon as I saw this, I thought fireworks and the 4th of July. I don't know why, but that's what I wanted to do. So today we are using the Dandelions embossing folder 3 ways, all right? Same design, because I want to focus on the technique. The first one we're going to do is embossing on vellum. If you haven't done this, super fast, super easy, big wow factor without the mess of heat embossing. It kind of looks heat embossed, right? No one will ever know that you didn't do it. All right, and then the second, I used some sponge daubers and ink 2 different ways on this 3D textured embossing folder. So let's get started. Today I am using the stamp set Silhouette Scenes, because I really liked this "You Inspire Me" sentiment for the 4th of July. And these 2 stitched labels that come from the Tasteful Labels dies. Okay? And if you hear dogs fussing and stuff, just know that they're downstairs playing. All right, because it's 4th of July, we're going to use some patriotic colors here. So I have Night of Navy, a lovely shade of patriotic blue. Oh, my goodness. And I have some white and blue layers cut. So the first thing that I have for us is a 6x6 piece of vellum. And the reason I'm using 6x6 is because, you know what? Hold on just a second. There's a little bit of residual ink on there, and I don't want that on my vellum. So let's get rid of that as much as possible. And this is just a baby wipe. I usually run it under the sink, but because you're sitting here with me, let's do that, okay? Get rid of all that residual and then wipe it down. I don't know what I was telling you. I was worried. Oh, 6x6, because this is, well, it's not really 6x6. I thought it was. Close enough. What I wanted was a big enough piece that it covered my whole design, and then we'll trim it down, okay? So you need your die cutting machine. In this case, I have my Big Shot and my regular platform, and I'm using the blue embossing plate because it needs just that extra shim. So just two the embossing Big Shot platform and the blue embossing plate. I'm just going to run this through. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Janine. I see Sean is out there. Sean, I love that picture of Ellie Mae. Sean has a new corgi puppy named Ellie Mae, and it is so cute and adorable. Okay, let me move this out of the way. We're going to be using that a few times today. Okay, can you see what it did? How pretty is that? Okay, so we're going to put that on cardstock so it really pops. I have my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm going to cut this down, and I'm really just eyeballing it. The measurements that I want are 3 5/8. So I want to get my design first, and I'm really just eyeballing where to start trimming, okay? And then I'm going to turn this around, so 3 5/8. Oh, hello, I'm cutting it wrong completely. Don't mind me. Saved that one. Okay, and then by 4 7/8. So really get your design. And then we're going to cut off just a little bit of these bottom grass and leaves. So by trimming off the extra like that, we have a really good sense of where that embossing folder is going to land, okay? So our next layer is Whisper White with the top of Night of Navy. All the measurements can be found later on my blog at www.makingmemorieswithmichelle.com. I'm seeing if I can see any of your comments on my screen. Sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't. So I'm going to line up my paper on my, there we go, grid paper. And I have to stand on tiptoes to do this so I don't get my head in my camera, okay? And then I have my piece of vellum, and that's just going to layer right there. Now, I know we get concerned about our adhesive showing, so because this is so densely embossed, I can put adhesive right on the back of my vellum. Just a little strip. Come on. Okay, 3 little strips just on the back of those dandelion flowers. Okay. Hold on, please. I have to go take care of my dog.
I got him, Sheila.
Can you just open the door?
I got him. It's fine.
Okay. There we go. This is that polka dotted tulle, and I thought it was so pretty with the vellum. All right, and I have some glue dots. And this is really going to do 2 things, right? It adds a little texture to our card, and it's going to secure that piece of vellum down. Okay, just attaching it to the back. Now I'm going to put the whole thing on a Night of Navy card base, which today measures 4 1/4 by 11. And I have an inside piece. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there before we do our stamping. And this is, you know, so you can write on it. Okay? Now I have my tasteful labels, and I'm going to stamp You Inspire Me in Night of Navy. So I'm really just using 2 colors, okay? I really like to do this. Just focus on 2 colors at a time. I'm going to turn this over, run a strip of adhesive on the back, just a little bit, okay? Put that right there. Turn it over. And I'm going to put dimensionals not across the blue banner, because then that would be on the vellum and it wouldn't stick to the card. So I'm going to put them more along the bases. So that it not only attaches not to my grid paper, nice and sticky this morning, I get it on the card as well as the ribbon. So I thought I was the only person to ever make a video and forget how to talk, right? You know, crafting and talking at the same time can be challenging. And so I thought I was the only one who forgot crucial words. And I was watching a friend of mine the other day, and she did the same thing. Oh, I didn't feel so bad. Oh, my. Okay, just tied a little knot, and then I've got some of these teeny tiny pearls stuck on this, right? I was going through my embellishments and just kind of clean it up, and I'm just going to put these down. Right over here. Okay, you inspire me. What a pretty card. I love this raised vellum on raised embossing on the vellum. It is just gorgeous, and it's even prettier in person. I wish you could see it. All right, so that's one. The next technique that I want to show you with the embossing folder is adding ink. Now, when you open your embossing folder, you will find a raised bumpy side and a smooth. This is the embossed, this is the debossed side. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two sides. So I would like to start with the left-hand side. So we've got Stampin' Up! On the left. We're going to start on the right-hand side, directionally challenged, okay? And, oh, you know, before we start, I want to clean off that stamp because I will forget. And you know I did that earlier this week in a card I was making, and I made a color that was not beautiful and certainly not Stampin' Up! All right, so I have sponge daubers this morning. One in Real Red and one in Night of Navy. And I realize I've moved my grid paper all over. Reminds you of fireworks. Yay, that's the goal. I did what I set out to do. That makes me happy. Thanks, Anne, for saying that. Okay, so I'm going to take, now you need to be really careful when you are using the sponge daubers on here, because you just want it on the dandelion flower. You don't want it on the ink pad because you don't want it to go on your paper. Okay, so we're going to be really careful and add our color, just dabbing. Now if you get it on the outside, you can take your chamois or you can take a baby wipe and wipe it off, okay? It's not the end of the world, but just be careful. I know you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? That's kind of how this works. All right, and I'm really make those stand out. Bright, vibrant, just like fireworks, okay? Night of Navy, and then my Real Red I'm going to do in the center. Okay, and I'm just really just dabbing. right? And I see I got some before I close it. I will wipe some of that up. Okay, I'm gonna move all of that out of the way. And here's that little baby wipe I had, okay? I'll come in and clean that up just a tad. And you have to make sure that you get it all. You're gonna think you did and then go back again with a clean side, because you'll have just a little, you don't want any pink on there. Ask me how I know that, okay? So wipe that off so it's not wet. At least crafting with me, you know you don't have to be perfect, okay? That's the whole deal. I do have a 6x6 piece this time because it's easier. I'm gonna set it up in that grid line and close it. Oh, crud and a half. It's all right, we're gonna trim it. Okay, not the magnetic platform, just the regular base plate with the blue. Okay, this is one of those crafting moments where we do as I say, not as I do. Don't let it slip like that. Okay, get it lined up, run it through. You know what? Bear with me, we're gonna do that again, okay? Because it slid and it got all smeary. I'm not even gonna show you, that was awful. Okay, one more time. I know I can do this. I did it this morning. Okay, I'm gonna reapply some ink. Whoopsie. I got myself thinking about blueberry pie, I think. Okay. Clean up any smears. Hold it down. Don't let it slip. Try this again. Oh, Kathy, you're the best. True skill is knowing how to correct mistakes. Sometimes it means getting a new piece of paper. Ta-da! There we go. All right. So that was using the bumpy side. Okay, so basically what you did was you've got your bumps on the outside. This is the opposite, right? So it's kind of smooshed that color down inside and you have a debossed look, all right? I have to go rinse this off. Talk amongst yourselves. Tell me in the comments while I'm gone where the best fireworks display you've ever seen was, all right? Leave me a comment below. I'll run to the restroom real quick. Okay, I'm back. Let me grab some paper towels here. So I have everything I need in my craft room except a sink. But that's okay. Oh, and a coffee pot. But it's probably a good thing my coffee pot isn't upstairs because at least it forces me to go downstairs sometimes. And that was a great idea to use a Q-tip to clean off in between. I will give that a try. All right, Now the next one, oh, before we do that, let's cut another piece of 6x6 white paper. Since I used that one already. All right. Now, we did the raised. Now we're going to do the smooth, and I want to show you the difference, okay? So I'm going to start again with my Night of Navy. This is a little harder because on the raised, you can feel where you're going. On this one, it's just a little harder. So I'm using some circles so that I can kind of feel my way around. Okay, and we can dab more. Dab some in the center. You know how fireworks are super bright and they go out? You might want to do that. Okay, and this, just dab it. It's going to be beautiful. I just love it. I love some of your comments about where you saw the best fireworks displays. Nice. I still think the absolute favorites I've ever seen are at Disney. I think Disney, whether it was Epcot or whether the Magic Kingdom, just did the best fireworks. And fireworks to music are always cool. Although I will say some of my favorite 4th of July memories are going down to Riverfront Park in Spokane, where I grew up. And we would be bundled up. Oh my goodness, we would be bundled up in jackets and hoodies and oh my goodness. It would be so cold. In July, my grandparents would come visit every year and oh, my grandmother would just freeze every 4th of July because, I mean, sometimes we wore winter parkas. It's crazy. And here, you're like, oh, I'd love to go see the fireworks, but it's so hot. Oh, and of course, you know, everything's canceled this year, but that's okay. We're going to be fine. All right, so same thing. Sandwich it in between. Press it tightly so it doesn't slip. Open it up. And you have 2 different looks. So you have the embossed side, and then you have the debossed side. So a little daintier, dare I say, right? Just you get a little bit more of the intricate embossing details, and this is just like, wow, right off the page. Okay, so let's trim those up, and we're gonna go again. Over here. The first time I do it, I just eyeball it, and then I would know that I need to trim this to 3 5/8. Five-eighths, not 3/8. And then 4 7/8. And the same on this side. I have to say, living in North Carolina, I have never been to a fireworks display living here. I know that there are 2 big ones Not this year, of course, but usually. Around one at the UNC football stadium. And I'm not a big fan of being anywhere where you can't get out in case of an emergency. Call me crazy. So I don't go there. And then one down at a local outdoor concert arena. I'd rather go to that one. I feel that there are more ways to get away in case something goes wrong. Okay? And I just want to show you real quick what this looks like when it's all layered up, because that makes all the difference. So all the measurements are the same today. The card base is 4 1/4 by 11. The first layer of Whisper White is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. The cardstock, the colored cardstock, is 5 by 3 3/4. And then we trim our vellum down to 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And it really does. Having all those layers just makes such a beautiful visual. Make sure it's going the right way after all of that work. You should see me. I'm actually standing on my tiptoes to try to get that lined up for you today. It's a little bit silly. Okay. Then we'll finish by stamping You Inspire Me, this time in real red. That. Oh my goodness, and now Storm is growling downstairs. Don't these dogs know it's Crafty Saturday? I mean, how many years have I been doing this? All right, and this time I'm not going to add the ribbon because I've already put it down on my card. But that's okay. I'm not even sure it needs it, looking at it now. There you go. Where did my blue card go? Well, that's my life. There it is. The Dandelions embossing folder is a great find. You can do so much with it. We used it for 3 different fun techniques today. We did embossing on vellum, we did embossing with color, and then we did a little debossing with color. If you haven't added this to your wish list or your shopping list, I highly suggest doing so. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you're doing this weekend. I wish you all a very happy 4th of July. Next week, I'll choose a random person who commented and shared my video today to be entered into next week's Prize Patrol. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Keep crafting. Bye-bye.